All right, so my name is Michael DeLu, and I will be your host today for Pull Up the Tape. Before I get started with the politics of today's show, I'd like to ask that if you are listening to this podcast via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, share this podcast with anyone you know that loves sports, okay? Whether that's your mom, your dad, your brother, your cousin, your teammate, your coach, the worst person on the team manager, the water boy, share this podcast with them, okay? And if you are watching this podcast on YouTube, please do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, okay? And if you agree or disagree with anything that I discussed on today's podcast, leave a comment and let me know. I read them. I would love to interact with you guys, and yes, okay? I love you guys for supporting me. I haven't got the most views, but it doesn't really matter because like I always continue to preach to people who are in the startups of their dreams and chasing after their bag, and just find something you love and chase after it, and just have the ambition that you like. Just love it as much, like love it the way you do now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whether 10 people are watching it, 1,000 people are watching it, 1,000,000 people are watching it, love it the same, okay? My end goal is to get to the very top, and without your support, I can't do that. So continue to support me by commenting, and subscribing onto my video. And like I said before, sharing this podcast, Pull Up the Tape, with anybody you know that loves sports. All right, so I have a great show to get into. I want to apologize to you guys again for taking a month off. I know, it's not like many people really miss me, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to get into politics anyways. So today's story starts, for me, today's story started on, the exact date was September 10th, 2016. Arizona State University. Damn, can you see the jersey from here? Maybe from this camera angle you could. Right there. Probably, maybe. We'll see. All right, so this story started on September 10th, 2016. And my alma mater, the Arizona State Sun Devils, Forks Up, defeated, let's go, Team B. Team B. All right, random team. Team B, 68-55, right? But Team B's quarterback had 600 all-purpose yards. He had 540 passing yards and 60 rushing yards to be exact, and he had 6 touchdowns. So 5 through the air and 1 on the ground. 4 years later, this same quarterback just signed the heftiest contract in NFL history. You guessed it. That quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. Oh, my God. So, for those of you who didn't know, I went to Arizona State, and while I was enrolled in Arizona State and I was a Sun Devil, I had the privilege of seeing some of the brightest stars in the NFL today play in college. And Patrick Mahomes was one of them. So, on Monday, it was reported by Adam Schefter that he signed a 10-year contract that has $150 million guaranteed, and with incentives can kick it all the way up to $505 million. Okay. And let's get one thing. Let me get one thing straight first. Patrick Mahomes gave the Chiefs a deal. A deal. He could have asked for $600 million, $700 million. Whatever he asked for, the fact that the Chiefs are only paying Mahomes 16% of the salary cap moving forward, like when the contract extension does kick in, because he's still on his rookie deal, and he has two more years until that expires, and then this contract extension is going to kick in. But when that extension does kick in, it's still a very team friendly deal. Very team friendly deal. Why? Because if you just look at the annual salary, it's somewhere around $45 million a year, I believe. I don't know. I was watching First Take and Undisputed earlier today, so they were calculating the numbers. It's somewhere between 40 and 50 mil. I think there's bonuses and incentives and stuff like that, but if you look at the current contracts now, I think the highest paid player would be, is it Russell Wilson with 35 mil per year? So if it's anywhere between 40 to 45 mil a year, he's only getting 5 to 10 mil more than the next highest paid quarterback. But in reality, the gap between how good Russell Wilson is, no, not Russell Wilson, I'm sorry, I apologize. How good Patrick, oh yeah, Chelsea just scored again. I'm watching the Chelsea game right now as I'm recording this podcast. They're playing Crystal Palace, and they just scored. Christian Pulisic, let's go. I'm sorry. Hey, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to act up real quick. That's great content right there. So, that's Captain America for you. He was worth every single penny. I'm sorry for acting up, but that's another 3 points. So it's looking like we're gonna lock down this Champions League spot berth for next year. So yes sir. Anyways, so he's getting paid 40 to 45 mil for the length of the extension. And you have to keep in mind that the salary cap is going to go up because they're going to rip up the TV deal. So that means the teams will be getting more money from the TV contract. Honestly, there'll probably be like 2 or 3 new TV deals from when Patrick signs the extension from now, which is 2 years. The extension is 2 years from now. From now until the end of the contract, it's going to probably be a couple TV deals, meaning salary cap is going to continuously go up. And I keep saying Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes' yearly hit to salary cap is honestly probably going to go down. Like the percentage, because the cap is going up, his hit to the cap is going to go down because they're making more money. So in actuality, this deal, even though the numbers sound crazy, isn't really as crazy as you think it is. Like, it's honestly, he gave them a discount, which, in my opinion, shows how good of a teammate he is and how good of a person he is, because realistically, he did not have to do that. Okay? Somebody who has the resume that he has, I'll briefly go over it. 76 touchdowns to 14 interceptions in 2 years as a starting quarterback in the NFL. So that's 7 interceptions per year. Not to mention that last season he missed like 4 or 5 games. His first season as a starter, this man threw 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. Almost takes his team to the Super Bowl. Very next year, wins the Super Bowl MVP. So this is his resume before the age of 25 and before his 3rd year as a starter is MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and one of like 3 quarterbacks to throw 5,000 in NFL history, as well as I think one of 2 or 3 to throw for over 50 touchdowns in one season. Led the league in QBR. Has led the league in QBR since he became a starter. All right. So, honestly, the Kansas City Chiefs got a bargain. You got a bargain. A very good bargain. Which, I mean, hey, they should just be lucky that I keep saying Russell Wilson. They should be lucky that Patrick Mahomes was just so willing to, sign a team-friendly deal, to be honest. Like, people might look at it like, oh, wow, it's so much money, which it is, because, I don't have that. But, yeah. So, with that being said, Brett Veach, which is the GM for the Kansas City Chiefs, said today, well, not today, was it Monday or Tuesday? He said, going to continue to do everything we can about the Patrick Mahomes situation. Going to continue to do everything we can to surround him with talent. And this deal provides us with more flexibility to do that. Like I said, very team-friendly deal. And, yeah, so, for the most part, great contract both sides win, I guess. If I was Patrick, I don't know if I would have signed that contract. Maybe I would have signed, like, a 4 or 5 year, so then I could re-up again once the salary cap goes up or whatever. But, it's at the end of the day, I'm really happy for him. Great dude. worked his butt off to get to this point. And honestly, I'm just so lucky to even see. I'm really happy to have said I've seen him play in college, because I remember sitting in the stands that game, which I honest to God don't know. No, I do know how we won. He threw 2 picks that game. But he's just incredible, and he's honestly probably the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. Because at this point, in who can we compare him to? Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Dan Marino. Those dudes hadn't accomplished what he accomplished at the age of 24. Okay, so, and talk around the league is this is pretty much what other teams expected. I mean, nobody's sitting here saying, "Yo, he doesn't deserve this kind of money." Everybody, for the most part, looks at it like, the Chiefs got a good deal. To be honest, Chiefs got a good deal. They did good business, and for them, it turned out pretty well. To be honest, like that they were able to ink this deal in. But I want to address something before I get to my next topic, and this is about Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott, because I seen J.J. Watt tweeted, and some people were tweeting at Deshaun Watson like, "Oh, look, you're next." And on First Take on Tuesday, they were talking about, "Oh, what is this? What does this have? What is this? How does this impact Dak Prescott's contract negotiation?" Let me be very clear and concise when I say this. This doesn't mean a damn thing for both of those individuals. Okay? Not a damn thing. Dak Prescott, you are not Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson, you're a baller. You are a baller. Might be top 5. Maybe you can argue top 5, but he's for sure a top 10 quarterback. But you're not Patrick Mahomes. The only quarterback right now who deserves anywhere near Patrick Mahomes' money, I would say, would be Lamar Jackson. I don't know about giving Aaron Rodgers that type of money towards the back end of his career. Same thing with Drew Brees or Tom Brady. I don't think those dudes deserve that kind of. Oh, damn, Crystal Palace just scored. Those dudes don't deserve that kind of money. But, yeah, this doesn't mean a damn thing for those dudes. They're not getting $1 more than they, because of this. No. And I hope their agent doesn't go into the negotiation term. Oh, well, Patrick got, well, your client is not Patrick. Okay? Dak Prescott, you're for sure not Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson, you're pretty good. You can sit at the table with him. Dak, I don't know about that. Okay, so with that being said, congratulations to Patrick Mahomes on signing a new extension, and yeah, I'm really excited. Honestly, I'm just really excited to hear about anytime I see somebody getting paid what they're worth, or not. Well, just getting paid. I'm gonna say what they're worth, because I don't think he got paid what he was worth. But hey, so the NBA season has officially restarted. Well, not officially restarted, but I think yesterday teams began to travel to Florida, and they began testing and stuff like that. So really looking forward to that, because it's a step closer in the right direction, and it just goes to show, it's been almost actually 4 months. Honestly, it's been almost 4 months since the last game I watched, and the last game I actually watched was, I feel like I think I watched the Mavericks play the Pelicans, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. But all the teams are converging to Orlando, which is funny because Florida is hotbed for COVID, because they have an idiot for a governor who decided to open the state much sooner than they actually should have. Same thing with Arizona. Same thing with a lot of these other states that are seeing, I think it was Texas, a lot of these other states that are seeing a lot of rises in the amount of COVID cases they're having. I'm sorry if I keep looking over here. I'm watching the game on my phone. But NBA's coming back, and I'm really excited because I feel like it was in the league's best interest to crown a champion and finish the season. Especially for me being a Laker fan, because this is one of one of the more promising seasons we've had in the past 10 years. Honestly, this is probably the most promising season we have had in the past 10 years. Because in the past 10 years, we were awful. Trash, garbage, awful. Hadn't made the playoffs since, was it 2013? Yes. We haven't made the playoffs in 7 years. And this is the year we're going to finally make the playoffs. But I am really excited that everything is starting to pick back up. The players are about to start undergoing testing. And just, so players consistently have to, the whole bubble thing. I commend the NBA for trying to make it happen, and not even trying to make it happen, for making it happen. Even though, it's a little sus, because considering where it's happening, the bubble should be considered as a safe haven, but, the bubble is located in a state that has seen the amount of COVID cases double. So, I don't know. It's a little suspect, iffy, whatever, but, well, I'm just happy to be seeing basketball coming back. And with that being said, I have good news for Laker fans. I'm going to jump into my next topic. As you guys all know, I am recording live from MOD Entertainment Studios, which is located in Los Angeles, California. And I myself am a Laker fan, as well as the millions of people who live in this city with me. And it was confirmed on Tuesday by CNN that Dwight Howard does plan to join the team as they restart in Orlando. He was low-key. Him and some other players have been on the fence of whether they're going to come back to finish the season, which is really good because, honestly, Dwight Howard has been one of the Lakers' best role players this season, which is crazy for me to say because I was one of the people who complained earlier this year when they decided to sign him instead of signing Joakim Noah. I'm really happy they didn't do that because Dwight Howard has played incredible this season. Like I said, he's been one of the best role players for the Lakers. Honestly, you could maybe even argue he's played at times better than Kuz, which, is going to be really big for Lakers to have him because they don't have Avery Bradley for his defensive purposes. So, if the Lakers do eventually end up matching up with the Bucks in the finals, it would be good to have another extra body as big as Dwight Howard who can, help, build a wall around the paint to stop Giannis the same way the Raptors did last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I am really happy to hear that he's going to be joining the team because honestly, the Lakers are pretty thin outside of Anthony Davis and LeBron James, Yeah, so want to commend Dwight Howard for coming back. Yes, I'm really excited for that. So another thing I want to get into is UFC. So UFC 251 is taking place this Saturday in Abu Dhabi. Did I say? I hope I said that right. I don't want to butcher anybody's city or anything like that. And the main event is going to be Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare. Hold on. Wait. Okay. So the main event is going to be Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare. You know what it is for me. All my Nigerian brothers stand up versus Jorge Masvidal. Okay. Let me be the first to say, just because I'm Nigerian and I am rooting for Usman doesn't mean I'm not a fan of Masvidal. I love Masvidal and the way he fights. I love his dedication, his ascension from a relative nobody to a superstar in the UFC and everything he stands for. This man is 35 years old and has fought. And I think I was listening to Undisputed earlier this week when they said that he has the record for most fights without a title fight in his career. So he has, I think, over almost 40 fights in his career, and this is going to be his first title shot, and he's getting this at 35. So this is the fight that fans really want to see. For real. These two dudes don't like each other, and I love it. They don't like each other at all, and I love it. Okay, so the UFC tried to put this fight on I don't know if it was for this card or a previous card or a card in the future, but they couldn't get the deal worked out. Masvidal felt like the UFC was, I can't really say this word because I think I'm trying to promote this clip, whatever. The UFC was kind of, was trying to play him with the negotiation and they're lowballing him. The UFC was lowballing him, and he really wasn't rocking with that. And then he as well as some other fighters, just like John Jones, who was in the talks to fight Francis Ngannou, but he said if the money is not right, he's not going to do it. So Jorge Masvidal got so upset to the point where he called for his release from the UFC, and it was just like, Dana, look, if you're not going to pay me what I'm worth, bro, just release me from my contract. So Gilbert Burns suddenly went on a hot streak and looked impressive in most of his fights, knocking out some elite dudes, beating some elite talent in the UFC in the welterweight division. And he was given the green light to fight Usman for 251. But unfortunately for him, he tested positive for COVID. So because he tested positive for COVID, put the UFC in a really, really tight spot because, I mean, you can't host an event without you can't host a card without a main event. So obviously they came to their senses and gave the fans what they wanted, which all of us have wanted to see Usman fight Masvidal for a minute now. So I'm happy that worked out. And, I mean, it's unfortunate that Gilbert Burns just lost his chance to fight Usman, but hey, I mean, I'm not complaining. We get to see the fight we want. Masvidal is a savage. Usman is a savage. Like, I can't wait to see them get it in. And they've already, I mean, not even they've already, obviously they've already talked their trash. Masvidal has been talking trash to Usman since Usman beat Woodley. So, I mean, I'm not even going to, and then also earlier this week on First Take, he said he was going to baptize Usman and hurt him, knock him out, put him to sleep, all the above. So, I mean, I'm honestly really excited to see this fight. Like, I hope this fight lives up to, I don't want to see somebody get knocked out quickly. I don't want to see somebody I want to see a good fight. And I honestly want to say that I commend Masvidal for taking this fight on such a short notice. And even on First Take earlier this week, he was saying that, was it Monday? Yeah, he was saying that he still, as of Monday, the fight's on Saturday, he still had to cut 20 pounds. And he was saying that, he wasn't in the best shape because, he took this fight on very short notice. So he wasn't actually training for a fight. So the fact that he even took this fight, I commend, I rock with. And who knows, and then he's saying he's not going to make any excuses of whether he wins or loses, but he's not going to use that as an excuse if he loses, but because, he's been fighting his whole life in a fight, and this is what he's paid to do. So, he's just going to go out there and do what he does best, which is hurt people. So I'm really excited to see this fight happen later this week. Just really, really excited. Honestly, we have a big week ahead of us right now, Soccer, I'm just happy that everything's finally getting back into the swing of things. Sports is back. UFC's been going strong. Premier League has been going strong. Just European soccer is back. The NBA's coming back. The NFL offseason is really exciting with all the new storylines. Cam signing with the Patriots and just all the new stories that keep developing. I'm really excited. I'm really am excited. And one of the last points I want to make before I wrap up today's podcast is just notice how I'm just happy they made it happen. See, in the UFC, for the most part, there's really no ducking and dodging. Like the way they do it in boxing, how we feel like, okay, this fighter definitely doesn't want to fight this guy because X, Y, and Z, all these other factors. In the UFC, no. The best two are gonna go at it. They're gonna give the fans what they want. And boxing doesn't really do a good job of that because for the most part you're waiting for the fight that you want for months, not even months to years, So and I want to applaud Dana White for getting it together because honestly, bro, you guys make so much money, bro, off these fights, bro. Pay these dudes what they're worth, bro, and give the fans the fights they want to see. Give the fans the fights they want to see. Okay, stop doing this nonsense. Pay your top dudes what they deserve, because they don't even get a fraction of what boxers get. So pay these dudes, honestly, bro. Just pay these dudes. But anyways, that is going to wrap up today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, I really did hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, my name is Michael DeLu, and as I wrap up, I'm just going to ask again, if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify, share this podcast with anyone you know that loves sports. Anyone you know that loves sports. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Pull Up the Tape, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, like this video, press the thumbs up. It only takes a couple of seconds. Put a comment. You feel me? If you're rocking with Usman, leave a Nigerian flag in the comments. If you're rocking with Masvidal, I don't know, leave a fist. I don't know. If you support anything I said or disagree, let me know. Comment, let me know. I'm rocking with it. I'm gonna talk to you. Talk to me. I talk back. I appreciate all the people who are viewing this right now. You know, I know this is my early stages of growing, of transforming into what I see myself becoming into. So I just want to thank you guys and commend you guys for helping me, supporting me. I love this. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep grinding every step of the way. Bow, movie, shake the room, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Let's go!